This video on processing the daily new hire, rehire, transfer, and termination reports will demonstrate the process of receiving and reviewing those reports and how to use that information to ensure access control to our biomedical facilities. It can be used for other facilities, but primarily if we're talking biomedical facilities. First thing that has to happen is the regional chief operation officer has to submit a request to Workday/HR to add you to the distribution list of the people who receives the data reports via an email each day. And then what will happen, you'll receive 3 separate emails every day. Looks just like this in your email box. They'll be coming from American Red Cross at my workday. They'll come right together, usually about the same time of day, and they can vary sometimes, but they'll come right together. One for termination, one for transfer, and one for new hire. You'll need to click on one of these of the 3. It doesn't matter which one you click on. We'll just go click on one in the middle, or terminations, the first one, because each one that you click on is going to take you to your My Reports page. So right here, each one's going to look just like this. Click here. All 3 of those, either one of those will take you to the same page, which shows My Reports. Now, you may have other reports than the daily reports of new hires, transfers, but for this purpose, ignore those. And you see mine are all listed right here anyway. These are transfer, new hire, termination reports. So this is what you're going to get. So you're going to have one for each of these, new hire and rehires together, terminations, transfers. One at a time, you're going to go open it, click on it to open. And when you do that, it downloads to your computer. So if you want to do all 3 of them, what you're doing is downloading all 3 of them. And now those top 3 things in my download folder are transfer, termination, and new hire report. Doesn't matter the order you go into. Um, it's just a matter of now we have them downloaded. We just need to open one up. Let's open up the termination log. I know this is a transfer log. So what you do for each of these, when you open them up, we're going to scan through these names to see if we find anybody from MOR. And if we do find somebody from MOR, we're going to highlight that line that has their name and information on it, and then save the report with that change. So what you can do, well, what you have to do to save any changes is hit Enable Editing. We don't know if we have any, but you can go ahead and hit it anyway. So now you can scroll through these real quickly like that and just go through column B and look for MOR, look for Missouri. Do you see it? I don't see it. Column O also had, I think it's O, let's see. Oh, it's changed a little bit. It's column M now, right here. It also lists the location. Another thing you can do, especially when it's a big long report or if you've already scrolled through it, you can do the find function on your document and find in the docket MOR. And that will list each MOR that's listed in there. And it just confirms there is no MORs. Okay, there's none in there. So we're going to do the same. And now we're done with this one. No need to highlight anything. We can just close that report. Same thing goes for the next 2 that we downloaded, which would be the termination. And if they're so short like this, you don't even have to bother about hitting enabling because you can see there's no Missouri. Do the same thing for the new hire. And these are nice, easy ones. There's nothing there. We can get rid of these reports. So on this one, the next step in this process for this particular day where there's no activity for MOR, we're going to do an email. Before I get to the email, let's look at one that I know has some activity. I know it was this termination, I believe, here on the 25th. I just remember seeing that. And how these happen is these emails go out every day, but we send out a data report just on the workday. So today is a Monday. We'd send out the reports covering Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, and I already saw the one for today, so I did see one for the 25th. So I'm going to go up here and look at that one real quick. And it does show you the termination for the 25th. Now, my counterpart's already done this, but that's saved to their computer, so I could hit enable editing, and either scroll down column B or just type in MOR, or even actually I like Missouri better. But just type Missouri, you see if Missouri shows up in this report, and there is a Missouri. And if I hit find all, it's going to list everything. If you notice, if it's listed here in column B, it's listed on that same line somewhere in column. Let's see. What does it say? Cell number B and O. So, like I said, column B. Let's go here, look at column O, and there it is, Mo. So we have somebody in Columbia who was terminated. So just like we were saying, we would highlight that whole row, and using that find function, this was the only line in it that had that in there. So now we'd want to save. You can save it anywhere you want, but it's saving my download. So now I have that saved report. So what happens next is if I was the person who did these Friday or these reports, this is the report that was sent out with this exact information on it. So the email is how we disperse information. It goes out to this distribution list. You just type in a new email in there, type that in. Um, I'll demonstrate that here. If I have a new email, the first time you may have to, what was it, MOR, what was it, daily? MOR new hire termination reports. So you start typing that in, and that's what you'd select. And that has all the operations people that need it. We've also added one volunteer service person because they requested to be on there because they needed information. This is what this email would look like for today, the actual report. There are 0 in a subject matter line. You're going to put MOR, new hire terminated transfer reports, and then the time, the date says covered, Saturday through Monday. Boom. Then the body of the email is, hello, the greeting, and how many do we have? 0 new hires, 1 termination, 2 transfers. So we list that termination. What we list here is everybody say the building number, followed by this underscore, the city, then the HS humanitarian service or biomed, BS for biomed, the name of the person. Then this is a SR number, it's a ticket on Emacs. Now, this training video, we're not going to go into Emacs or Brevo, which is 2 other systems that we use when you're doing these because they're separate trainings for both Emacs and Brevo. I'll just kind of describe what you would do. So on the termination, when this person shows up, you would go into Emacs, create a new SR service request. That ticket's going to be to remove access from Tawana Spears because she is no longer with us. Now, what we're doing here is we did create that ticket. If they're in Brevo, Brevo is where they give them access. We go into Brevo, we would delete their profile, which removes their access, so then we could actually close the ticket. So that's exactly what they've done here. They've listed them on termination report, created a ticket saying, hey, we have to remove this person's access. Then went into the Brevo system, removed the profile, which does remove their access, and went back into Emacs and closed the ticket. So they made that comment, Emacs ticket closed. So when I open this email, if Columbia's my building, I say I got to do something. Oh, the ticket's already been closed. I know the access has been removed. Transfers, the same things. A nice comment, there was no tickets required because a lot of times you get transfers, people aren't in the same building, they just transfer maybe a new title or a new pay grade or something, they still put them on there. So this tells me these people didn't move anywhere. Now, a transfer could be from an office building in St. Louis to an office building in Kansas City. Then we'd have to do some more steps. We'd have to take them out of St. Louis, possibly, and then enter them somewhere else. So that is the report condensed into the email that we get pushed out to everybody. And I say, the people, this is something we've got to maintain all the time. But that's a very simple process. That's all there is to creating this the daily, what we call process in the daily reports, receiving information, viewing, reviewing information to find our MOR personnel who's coming on board, who's leaving, and making sure we get those accesses removed or added and recorded, and then shared with everybody out here in MOR that needs that information. So, along with this video, there's a instructional step-by-step pictorial that you can also find in the trading section of MOR SharePoint site. So that's all for this video. Thank you, and I hope you find this helpful.